for daily Ask Reddit. r/Ask Reddit. If you've ever asked the universe for some kind of sign and got it clear as day, what was it and how did it go? If you enjoy the video, drop a like and subscribe so you never miss a video. I was in the depths of despair. I had lost my great job, had to travel 2 hours every day with heavy tools each way to a temporary job I was doing. Sitting on the bus, thinking my world was over, and it all kind of got to me all at once, and I began to tear up. Not wanting to bawl my eyes out in public, I held it in. So I asked for something, anything that could show me that life wasn't worthless. A lady I didn't see must have how bad I was, or maybe it was just coincidence, but just after I cried out in my head, I heard the words, "Everything is going to be okay." It saved my life. Edit. I had no idea that this would affect you all so much. Sometimes it might be dark and a small spark starts a fire. Sometimes you're the small spark. Be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you for the awards too. I can now give awards to others. When my mom died, I was pretty destroyed. We were very close. I was feeling like I couldn't understand how to live in the world without her. One day I was driving home from work, depressed as hell, and I started thinking how much I'd love it if I could get a sign from her, surprising myself a bit, as I'm not at all religious and am highly skeptical about things like signs from the universe. But I missed her so much that I mentally asked the universe for a sign. She really loved birds, so I thought, wouldn't it be cool if it came in the form of a bird? Maybe a sparrow or even a pigeon or something. I got home, parked my car, and walked up the path to the cottage I was renting. This was in the city of Berkeley, California. As I was unlocking the front door, off to the side a flash of color caught my eye. I turned to look, and it was a Chinese pheasant. I had no idea what it was. I had to look it up, but if you Google Chinese pheasants, you'll see why I was so blown away. It was brilliantly colored, with gold on its head and back, orange and black bars on its neck, bright red chest and blue on its wings. The most psychedelic bird I've ever seen. And it was standing on my front porch, a bird native to Fing, China. I had no clue how the hell it could even be there. I thought I had to be dreaming, so I got my neighbor to come see it. We stared at it with our jaws hanging open. Then it sort of squawked and flew away. And it hit me that I had asked my mom/the universe for a sign, thinking maybe a drab little sparrow or a pigeon. And what I got was a bird that was ridiculously over the top, and it was exactly the kind of joke my mom would have loved. I'm still skeptical and not religious and don't believe in fairies and shit, but that was weird and also great. I'm not superstitious at all, but my uncle is. When my nan passed, he went to see a fortune teller who told him that anytime our family sees white feathers around, that's Nan's way of showing us that she's there. I thought it was a load of bullshit and forgot about it. A few years later I was at a music festival. Everything was coated in dirt and dust being churned up by thousands of people's feet. Even the air was so thick with dust it was making it hard to see and breathe. I was on the edges of the mosh pit when I started to have my first panic attack. I'd never had one before, didn't know what was happening to me, and I was terrified. I felt like I was being crushed, and like I was the only person in the world at the same time. I remember desperately thinking back, quote, "I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be here alone." I crouched down in the middle of the dirty dusty crown, and when I opened my eyes there was a single white feather on the ground right between my feet. It was perfectly white, no dirt, not stepped on or anything in a mosh pit. I stared at the feather until I could get my breathing under control and get out of there, and I still have that feather. I really don't like my job, and I've been daydreaming about what I could do. I just needed a place to be able to do it. The next day I get offered to house sit for a couple years in this big Japanese house that has a storefront in the front. There's a perfect space to do what I would want to do. I would live rent free and be able to save up to buy my own business visa here. I wouldn't need to work in this job anymore. Greater than sign. All my life, whenever I went to the beach I had wanted to find an intact sand dollar. I had found lots of pieces, but never a whole one. When I was in my mid-30s, I went with a group of friends to the coast. I was walking alone along the beach and the moonlight close to midnight. I was feeling very sorry for myself in the dark. and really lonely, even though I was with my friends that weekend. I had just started thinking the thought, wouldn't it be a great sign right now to know that I'm loved if I finally found a sand dollar? I had barely formed the thought when I looked down, and right at my feet was an intact sand dollar. Recently, all within the space of 2 weeks, I lost my job, my house, my now ex cheated on me, and I'm across the other side of the world from my family. I had never been at rock bottom before, but I was certain this was it, so I begged the universe to help me get out of this somehow. Yesterday I finally closed the chapter with my ex, completely got rid of his stuff, and put it behind me. I also sent a message to all my friends and family back home telling them how much I loved and appreciated them. Today I got a call from my boss offering me my old job back, was offered a huge commission from my side hustle, digital art, which will pay my next 6 months worth of rent, and will be able to fly back home soon to see my parents. I don't know who is looking out for me, but I'm beyond grateful.